She let him live in her house rent-free, and in return he not only murdered her, he dismembered her body. In November 2023, Annette Smith was murdered in her own home, and I can only describe this as one of the most horrendous cases I've seen in UK recent true crime history. If you have watched 24 Hours in Police Custody, you might recognise this case. Annette was a kind, generous, and popular woman. Everyone in her little community knew her. She was just a lovely, lovely woman. She had recently suffered from a stroke and she needed some care and some help with her mobility. She wasn't doing too well health wise. So she allowed a friend of hers, Scott Patterson, aged 45, to move into her house and live rent free. In exchange for this, Scott Patterson would help with caregiving duties. He would also help with company, but this wasn't just like a care arrangement. They actually got on really well. They were friends. They even went as far as to going on holiday together. On the night of the 8th of November 2023, while Annette was sleeping, Scott Patterson smothered her with a pillow, killing her as she slept. He would later tell police that he had been contemplating doing this for weeks, and he had finally snapped due to her over-demanding care necessities. Instead of then reporting the death to the police or maybe trying to get her help, Patterson waited till she died and dismembered her body using various different tools, including saws, knives. It's just horrible. He concealed the body parts in the house for a while, and then when he realised he couldn't keep them there any longer, he put them in public bins, like outside a Lidl. He put them on public pathways, and the rest of her body was found in a lockup which was in his name. Scott went to extreme lengths to try and conceal this crime. He posed as Annette for months on end. He would answer emails after accessing them and talk to her friends as if it was her. He even sent gifts and moonpig cards to people in Annette's life to act as if she was still here. In January of 2024, Scott Patterson himself reported Annette as missing. He stated that she had left with a friend for a few weeks and he hadn't heard from her, and he was growing concerned for her welfare. From what I've read as well, family members also reported her missing around April 2024. However, the local police's missing persons team were kind of noticing inconsistencies and things just weren't adding up with the story. And on the 30th of April 2024, Scott Patterson was arrested for the murder of Annette Smith. He confessed completely calmly to the police. If anyone has seen the episode on 24 Hours on Police Custody on this, it is literally insane. He just confesses kind of not very far into the interview, like you would expect somebody to kind of go a bit longer, maybe lying. He just is so calm, and that's what the scariest thing about it is. He tells them that he's responsible for her death and where to find the evidence. He pleaded guilty to murder in September 2024 and was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 20 years, which was then reduced to 19, I think, for the amount of time that he was in custody. The judge described the killing and the cover-up as being callous and awful.